What if I told you that some of the most powerful financial advice you'll ever get was actually written almost 100 years ago? Today, we're going to unpack The Richest Man in Babylon, a book whose, ancient secrets for building wealth are frankly more relevant than ever. This one sentence, it's basically the entire philosophy of the book. The author wasn't trying to sell some get-rich-quick scheme. He was teaching a fundamental truth, that real wealth, it's not about getting lucky or timing the market perfectly. Nope. It's built through small, consistent actions, day in and day out.
I mean, come on, we've all been there, right? You put in the hours, you're good at what you do, but then you look at your bank account at the end of the month and it's just gone. It's such a frustrating cycle.
But here's the really wild part. That feeling, it is not new. This book shows us that people felt this exact same way thousands of years ago, even in Babylon, which was literally the wealthiest city in the ancient world.
So we meet these characters, like Banseer. Now, this guy was the best chariot builder in the city, period. People came from all over just for his work. By all accounts, he should have been rolling in it, but he wasn't.
And it wasn't just Banseer. His buddy, Kobe, who was this fantastic musician, he had the exact same problem. They both made good money, but it just seemed to evaporate. Their purses, as the book puts it, were always lean.
So what do? They go to their old friend Arkad. He'd started out just like them, a poor scribe with absolutely nothing. But somehow, he had cracked the code. He figured out the secret to wealth and became legendary for it. They just had to know how he did it.
Arkad's story is where the wisdom comes from, but the story of the guy who actually wrote these stories is just as cool. You see, this advice didn't come from some banker or an economist. It came from a map maker named George S. Clason.
Yeah, Clason's journey was pretty wild. He started out making road atlases, for the brand new age of the automobile. But then, in the 1920s, he starts writing these simple financial stories set in ancient Babylon. And they weren't ads, they were little educational pamphlets that banks would give out to their customers. They got so popular that in 1926, they were all collected into the book that we still read today.
And this is it. A book that sold millions of copies, not because of some flashy marketing campaign, but because it's simple, powerful stories that just work. It cuts right through all the noise and complexity of modern finance and gets down to these absolute timeless truths.
All right, so what did Arkad tell his friends? What was the big secret? Well, he gave them what he called the 7 cures for a lean purse. Basically a step-by-step prescription for getting your finances healthy again.
Okay, the first and most important cure is this. Pay yourself first. Before you pay your rent, before you buy groceries, a part of everything you earn belongs to you. The book says at least 10%. Now, this isn't profit. It's not for spending. This is the seed. This is the seed from which your entire fortune is going to grow.
The second cure is really all about budgeting, but in a much simpler way. It's about learning the difference between what you need and what you want. The book gives this great warning that our necessary expenses will always grow to match our income unless we actively fight back. The key is to learn to live on the 90% that's left, not more.
Now this is where the magic really starts to happen. That 10% you've been saving, it can't just sit there in a box. You have to put it to work. The book uses this incredible metaphor. Every coin you save is a worker, a slave that earns more money for you. And the money it earns, those are its children, and they can work for you too. It's just a beautiful, ancient way of describing compound interest.
And the rest of the cures just complete the whole picture. Cure number 4, guard your money from loss by investing it safely and wisely. Cure 5, own your own home instead of just throwing money away on rent. Cure 6, plan for the future. Make sure your family is taken care of. And finally, cure 7, never stop learning. Always improve your skills to increase your earning power. I mean, put it all together and it's a complete financial plan in 7 timeless steps.
So after the 7 cures, the book gives us the 5 laws of gold. And if you think of the cures as how you start saving money, the laws are how you manage that money wisely for the long haul.
And you can see how these laws just build on each other. You start by saving, right? Then you find profitable work for that money. But, and this is so crucial, the next laws add these essential guardrails. Get advice from experts, only invest in stuff you actually understand, and run, don't walk, from any scheme that promises crazy, impossible returns. It's really a timeless recipe for smart growth and, just as importantly, avoiding disaster.
So all this sounds great for ancient Babylon, right? But how does any of this apply to our world of investing apps, crypto, and instant everything?
Well, turns out it translates perfectly.
Think about it. Make thy gold multiply today just means setting up an automatic transfer on payday into a low-cost index fund. Guard thy treasures from loss? That's your built-in filter for avoiding all those sketchy investment fads you see online. And increase thy ability to earn, that's taking an online course or getting a certification to get a raise. The principles are exactly the same. It's just the tools that have changed.
Here's a good way to put it in context. Think about another classic, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book is kind of like a high-energy business seminar. It's super practical, it's modern, it gets you fired up. The Richest Man in Babylon is more like sitting down with your wise old grandpa while he tells you timeless stories. It's more philosophical, reflective, and it all comes back to the core habits of saving and investing wisely. And this is the final, absolutely crucial point from the book. You can learn all these cures and all these laws, but they mean nothing if you don't do anything with them. Good luck doesn't just fall out of the sky. It comes to people who actually see an opportunity and then put in the work.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. The core idea of the whole book is to pay your future self first with 10% of your money. But what if you took that same principle and applied it to your most valuable asset, your time? What could you build or learn or become if you dedicated the first 10% of every day just to your own growth? Now that is a lesson that goes way beyond your wallet.